Hey VC, what's up? It's me, yours truly. I am back to post a quick video here. This is going to be a recent finds video, something I haven't done probably in about a month or so. Yeah, as I kind of mentioned in the previous video, things have been kind of really busy and that type of thing in a good way, which is awesome. But yeah, just haven't done a recent finds video in about a month or so. But still been working at the shop pretty regularly. Actually, over this past month, I had a few extra days that I worked, so that was nice to kind of grab a couple things. I did go to one record show, didn't really buy a lot, but grabbed a couple of good things. So just kind of over the course of the month, it adds up a little bit. So I'm going to kind of break this up into two videos just so they're not long or anything. So I'm going to do everything kind of non-rock on this video. So R&B, jazz, vocal, I guess maybe one hip-hop piece in here, that type of thing. And then on the next video, I'll just do kind of all rock. Excuse me. So let's kind of go from there. Make sure I'm not missing anything here, actually. Okay, yeah. So let's kind of jump right in. First thing I want to show, even though I did show it in my What I've Been Spinning video, I just want to kind of flash that one more time. EPMD Out of Business, a really cool piece that Jeff Witcher sent over to me. You guys know Jeff here in the VC. Some awesome VCOT he sent me last week, and I'm a huge EPMD fan, so that was really, really awesome. So just wanted to kind of share that one more time and say thank you, Jeff, one more time. And then diving into the recent R&B, jazz, and that type of stuff over the past month. The first one here I should say, is a pretty cool one that came in the shop the other day. I had never heard of him before, or at least not this album, Eugene McDaniels, and this is Headless Heroes of the Apocalypse. And Billy and I saw the cover, and we just kind of thought, that looks pretty cool, we got to give that a spin. And we did, and it was kind of a very cool kind of soul, maybe a little bit of funk here or there, a little bit of jazz flavor here or there, but it's kind of one of those odd, creative type of soul albums. And I just kind of really, really dug it. And then there was this one part in there where I recognized a sample that A Tribe Called Quest took at the very beginning of Can I Kick It? That little melody type of sample that they took, it actually came off of this album. So then, of course, once that hit too, it was like, okay, wait a minute, I gotta have that now. And so, luckily enough, the copy that he got in the shop is a very nice VG Plus copy, which is probably going to be like a $75, $80 record or something like that for an OG. But Music on Vinyl has done a really, really nice reissue of it, so you can get one for 20-something bucks. So, highly recommend that. Definitely check it out if you have not heard of that before. Next year, I actually got this a few weeks ago. Like I said, it's been about a month since I made a video, so Young MC, Stone Cold Rhymin', again, kind of another old hip-hop classic. Everyone, obviously knows the song Bust a Move off of this. That was kind of the big radio video rotation hit and all of that. But my favorite song off the album is I Come Off. I think that's definitely my favorite song off of the album, but I had the 12-inch single, but it's kind of nice to actually have the full studio album now, so that was a great pickup. Yesterday, actually, I picked up two things yesterday when I worked, which was nice. Kenny Burrell, and this is just another Tone Poet release. These always sound absolutely fantastic. Love all the stuff they put out on Tone Poet, and Burrell is just, one of those amazing, legendary jazz guitar players. So that was a great pickup. And then the other one I picked up yesterday was the Tone Poet of Blue Train by John Coltrane. Again, another legendary album. My favorite jazz artist. My favorite album by John Coltrane is A Love Supreme. So I would love to see Tone Poet do a pressing of that. But Blue Train is definitely one I'll take as well. That album right there is just legendary. So that was a great one, and those were the two I picked up yesterday at work. Let's see, a couple weeks ago, also grabbed this one, staying right there with the legend, Expressions by John Coltrane. Just a beautiful Japanese pressing of that, which is really, really awesome. And then a Japanese pressing of Kula there as well. So just two beautiful pressings there, kind of upgrading the copies I have. The copies I have are in great condition. They were just kind of, more recent reissues and that type of thing. So nice to have a couple beautiful Japanese pressings. So that was cool. Gladys Knight and the Pips, another really, really great album. This is Visions, which is from 1983, I believe. And I think that 80s period of Gladys Knight and the Pips is one that kind of gets overlooked a bit. When most people think about her or think about, Gladys Knight and the Pips, they usually tend to think about, I Heard It Through the Grapevine or Midnight Train to Georgia. Neither one of us want to be the first to say goodbye, which are all jams, without question. Love them to death. But I think for me, some of her 80s stuff is some of my absolute favorites. With stuff like Love Overboard might be my favorite song by her. It's definitely the one I listen to the most. And another one off of this album, which is Save the Overtime for me. Like, I think she had some absolute killers in the 80s. So that was a great addition to the collection there. A little Diana Washington. And this is kind of just like, for those that maybe don't know her, kind of just a really cool jazzy vocal kind of thing. Actually, what I'll say is, just kind of a nice piece by her there, which goes right along with a couple of records I found in the dollar bin, or in the discount bin, which is one place I almost never find records anymore. Number one, I don't look there that often because there's really not a lot there that, even just from a condition standpoint, would make it into my collection, much less albums that I don't already have or really, really want kind of thing. But I actually did stumble across a couple the other day, which was cool. And one was this one here, Diana Ross, Lady Sings the Blues, which is very much in the same kind of vein as Diana Washington. But a beautiful copy of that, as you can see, just in fantastic condition. Both the LPs are absolutely great. And it was only $3. So I was like, heck yeah, I'm going to grab that one. If you haven't seen that movie for any reason, Lady Sings the Blues came out in, is it the mid-70s, early 70s? Don't quote me on that, but it's something like that. Diana Ross, it was her portrayal of the story of Billie Holiday. Of course, Billy D. Williams was in it, one of his legendary scenes of Mr. Cool, of being Mr. Cool, I should say. It was one of Richard Pryor's early appearances, and just one of those legendary movies. And so it was kind of nice to finally get a copy of the soundtrack, and again, beautiful copy, perfect condition, only $3, which is very cool. And the other one I grabbed out of that dollar bin, haven't even processed this one yet, is the Jets. They have two main albums that I've always wanted, and this is one that I purged quite a while ago because of the condition, and just never stumbled across another one, and wasn't willing to they're not exactly hard to find, they just don't pop up here and there. But yeah, this one was in the dollar bin. It was only $1, and I was like, heck yeah, it's in fantastic condition. Came home and ultrasonic cleaned it. It plays fantastic. It just goes back to some of my favorite kind of, I guess you can say, R&B popish stuff that I was listening to back in the 80s. This came out in 85, but songs like Curiosity, Crush on You, You Got It All. I mean, those were just some of my jams back in the day. So great addition right there too. Especially again as a dollar bin find, because I just don't have many opportunities going through the dollar bin. All right, so that's part one of all the jazz, R&B, and all that great stuff. So you can click over to part two, and I'll show kind of the recent finds of all the rock and that great stuff.